Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, A Michael. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute, but yeah. So we coming at y'all with a video that I believe y'all are going to enjoy and like. But without further ado, I'd like to welcome my guest.
Noah.
So yeah, so today we're gonna be talking a little bit about mental health, a big part of mental health. And I was talking to Noah recently, and he would like to say a few things. Say it that way. So Noah, what would you like to be discussing today?
Well, I want to talk about confidence and self-esteem, kind of like how you feel when you go into a situation or out of a situation, just throughout life, knowing through my personal experience how that helped or damaged my mentality at the time.
Yeah. All right. So with that, tell us a little better, man.
Well, I know from a real young age, I didn't have a care in the world. I mean, who really did have a care in the world when you were real young? You were just happy. You're confident about everything because you were on top of the world. You couldn't do nothing. Nobody could stop you. You're unstoppable. Well, when you get older, you start thinking more, and that's one of the very first problems. Is when you think too much,
Mm.
it kind of you start overthinking a couple of things. Um, I know for me, I was never able to really grow tall. I know that sounds weird. I'm a shorter person, and as a younger kid, everybody would call me short and everything. And I was like, whoa, man, I need to be taller. Uh, so that kind of hit my confidence. That was a real letdown because, I thought I had to match what other people wanted for me. I thought I
Mm.
had to match what they wanted for my confidence, for my self esteem. And with that, I grew. I wasn't able to lose weight like I wanted. I wasn't able to just do what I wanted as an individual. What I wanted to go through, I couldn't do, or I felt like I couldn't do. Let me rephrase that. I felt like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Um, but confidence is a real big key in mental health.
Mm.
But don't be too confident because then you're it's not right. I mean, that's like the only way to put it because then no one's gonna like you, and then it's gonna hurt you even more.
Mm.
But you gotta have to have a healthy balance between being humble and confident. Um,
Okay.
that's something I struggle with nowadays. But I know for when I was young, my mentality was I gotta look up for other people, and I have to be the best for other people. I looked to kind of match what people wanted of myself. Um, so my confidence was to be the best I could be so other people could pat me on the back. Now,
Okay.
it's not really a good mentality to have.
Yeah. To an
But
extent. To an extent.
yeah, yeah, to an extent. But I was saying previously, I was bigger and I wanted to lose weight. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing stuff. Um and the more and more my confidence went down, I noticed the more and more I started overthinking every little thing. And when I started overthinking, I started um, kind of losing it. What I mean by losing it is, I'd overthink the simplest things. I still do sometimes. I overthink it, and I had no confidence to back it up. So when you do work, you should be confident in your work. And if you find out you do it wrong, well, you should learn from it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
as
Yeah. Learning from your mistakes. Yeah.
yeah, but as a kid, I didn't want to fail.
Mm.
I didn't want to make a mistake because I thought that would damage my reputation, that would damage my confidence, that would damage my self esteem, that would damage me, my
Mm.
view, my character. But I know that it hurt me more than it helped me not doing that. My mentality was just bad. That's the best way to put it.
Mm.
Every time I do something, I had to do the best, and if it wasn't the best, I'd myself over it.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'd hurt myself. Not physically, never
Mm.
physically, but always mentally. I'd
Yeah.
beat myself up. I couldn't sleep at night sometimes. Uh, as you know, nowadays, I kind of suffer from having less sleep. I do believe that's what happened when I did try to do things like that because I beat myself up so much that I couldn't sleep. I hurt my brain, I hurt my heart, I hurt my soul, I hurt what I did.
Mm.
Um, but that's kind of like how confidence is very important in mental health. Um, because if you don't have the confidence, especially me being a younger kid, I'm 15. I'm just now starting life. I'm just now got my permit not too long ago. So I mean, I'm just now starting life. Um, Confidence is key.
Mm.
Um, because as a younger kid, I was impressionable. Everyone is. They take in information. You always learn about things. You always try to do whatever other people want of you. But if you don't like it, or if you hate it, or whatever you do, and you start beating yourself up because of it, it's only going to hurt you. Don't go down that path because it hurts you more than it helps you.
Mm.
You should always be happy with what you've done. For an example, if I've worked on my truck for like 10 days, I'm happy about it because I think I fixed it. But there was a small problem that I missed. I should be happy. I would of course be upset, but I should be more happy than I am upset because I shouldn't beat myself up about it. I worked on it for 10 days. That's the only thing I got to fix on it. Look at it in that light, just be more positive about it. Have that ego boost, that confidence boost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That
just
right there. That right there. The confidence boost. See, I'm glad you said that. And the reason why, and sorry for cutting you off right there.
don't worry about it.
Um, that's something that I see in today's generation. Not having.
Yeah.
Not having a lot of confidence in their self or in what they do. Right. So when you were talking about the weight, the whole weight loss, weight gain, I I kind of fell into that. So I know where you're coming from when you talk about the weight loss, the weight gain. Um, it was kind of opposite for me because I was gaining weight and then I wanted to cut, right? But I did it the
Yeah.
wrong way. So if you can learn anything from me, that's one thing. Do your research before just taking someone's advice. Like, listen to multiple people. Don't listen to one person because then it will mess your body up like it did me. Because I did a water fasting. That's not good. Okay, you have to eat. You have to. You can't just drink water because you're gonna hurt yourself. And I'm a living example of that because I hurt myself doing it. But back on the confidence, you know, that's something that it took a while for me to learn the confidence in my body because of the weight that I was at and the weight that I am now. I am very confident. I'm very happy with the change that happened. I went from 290 and now I'm at 185. I'm beyond happy. But with that being said, the confidence was below where I wanted it because when you lose that much weight, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have two things: stretch marks and probably loose skin, which is what I have. And I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of it, Like I
Yeah.
used to be. I used to be like, no. I'm suffering from the past, from basically being depressed and then eating, because I didn't never had a high metabolism, so that never worked out. But it was the constant, oh man, I'm 290 now. I gotta do this and that, and it just, yeah, it went through the window. Confidence went through the window until I had to learn that this is me. I knew where I was, and now I know where I'm actually at. I'm happy with the way I look. I'm happy with just everything in general because I know what the main goal was, and that was losing the weight. And guess what? I lost it. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with the loose skin, the stretch marks. I'm happy with it. And that's where a lot of people need to look themselves in the mirror and be like, okay, I love myself. All right? I may not be where I want to be right now, but I love myself. And that's something that, for me, it ties in with mental health because, you're constantly looking in the mirror and you're like, man, I got stretch marks. I got loose skin now. And it just makes you depressed.
Well, 100%. I mean, I just now recently am getting into the mindset of loving myself more than focusing on other people. Like I've told you before, I've talked to people and tried to get with them and talk to them and, always worrying about someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Here recently, I started worrying about myself and started actually feeling what I'm feeling, instead of holding it back, which is another thing. I mean, holding back your feelings is not good because once you
Yeah.
bottle it up, one day it'll come back and I don't know, like rage or something. It'll come back with something. It'll bite you in the butt
Mm-hmm.
because I know it did that to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I got in a couple years. I was mentally drained all the time. I went to school with no expression on my face. I went to see friends with no expression on my face. I felt nothing. I'm here to
Mm-hmm.
say now that I'm a living example of once you learn how to deal with yourself and you start gaining confidence and you start taking pride in what you do and you live with, then your mental health will go up, 100%, because you'll start thinking of yourself a lot better. You won't be like, man, I hate myself because I didn't get 100 on this test, or dang, I hate myself because I couldn't live up to this person's expectations. You don't need to worry about them. Worry about yourself. Worry about loving yourself. Worry about just be the better you, be the best you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the most important thing.
No, you're right. Like for real. Because, just talking about it now, I was so used to just keeping it all in. And be like, all this all this anger, this sadness, I'm just gonna keep it bottled in. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I have anger issues. I get mad very easily. Uh but if you do have anger issues, please don't hold anything in because, well, like he said, you'll blow up, and then, well, 9 times out of 10, he'll bite you in the tail. And, well, it's happened plenty of times to me, probably to you, you know,
No.
people stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just thinking about it now. It's like knowing where I used to be and where I am now. I wish I can give that to other people. That confidence to be like, look, you went from this to this. Be proud of that. Be proud of what you accomplished from here to there.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, it's a journey. I mean, you're not gonna get there in one night. I mean,
Telling
as
you.
I mean, working out, great example. I mean, I plateaued. I'm still plateauing, and I just recently I'm getting better because I'm learning more. It's not really about the learning part. It's not really about the learning part, but it's always about the fact that I stopped caring, if you want to put it that way. Um, I mean, I loved working out. I love to work out. It gets me in good spirit. I'm happy, but I only want to be comfortable when I work out, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna have to push yourself. You're not pushing yourself. You're not building.
Yeah.
And that's a good analogy to have. Is if you're not pushing yourself, you're not giving yourself problems, and you're not fixing those problems and fixing yourself, You're gonna stagnate in your own
Mm-hmm.
life. And when you good example that my dad taught me one time. If you look at there's two types of water, right? There's lake water and river water. Which one looks more beautiful? River water,
Mm-hmm.
because it's constantly going.
Yeah.
It's constantly flowing. it's not staying stagnant. If you look at a lake, it turns green, there's algae, there's moss, it's disgusting, nobody wants to swim in it. In the river, it's beautiful. You can see all the way to the bank. You can't you It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
pure. It's great. But that's the thing, is it's not stopping. That's the main thing that we all need to focus on as human beings is we need to stop going to to a comfortable place and becoming stagnant. Because becoming stagnant is something I see in my generation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm part of the new generation, and uh, I'm learning how to cope with things. I'm learning how to love myself. I'm learning how to get on with life. But most importantly, I'm learning how to move on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, if you sit at one place with the same mindset for so long, eventually you'll become so drained that you don't care anymore. And that's not a good mindset to have because if you don't care, well, thoughts can get in your head. That's the
Mm-hmm.
best way to put it is thoughts will get in your head that you don't want.
Yeah. No, you are right. So, wanna I don't know. I just feel led to ask this question. Depression. Let's talk about it.
All right.
So,
Um,
what's what's your outlet to it?
my outlet.
Mm-hmm. What distracts you from it?
Well, the biggest one I got is working out. Um, I put my sweat, my blood, and my tears in that. I mean, I kind of just I lose myself in my work. That's also another thing is working in general. It gets my hands doing something. As long as my hands and my mind is doing something, my mind doesn't go to bad places.
Okay.
Um, if I'm learning, me, I'm a great and big history buff. I love history. I love learning history. I love learning about the military. I love learning these things because it gets my mind off of the world.
Yeah.
I don't worry about what the Joneses are down the street. I don't worry about them. I don't worry about my whole household. I worry about myself and what I'm trying to do. I put my hands. So as long as I'm hands on about doing something, learning, working, especially working out. If I'm learning about something, it makes my mind cut off, and it seems like I'm in a place of peace because I'm doing something, and I'm just it's just getting my mind off of all the bad things.
Mm-hmm. So, you talk about working out, and for the audience, me and Noah, we do know each other. Uh, I've recently started going to his church. Um, but the Lord's put on my heart to be like a mentor to him. Basically, him being my little brother. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. Cause I don't have a little brother, I only have an older brother. So yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of works. Um, but nah, it's like when he talked about him being a history buff, I kind of saw a little bit of that last night. Cause last night we went to the gym. I showed him a little bit about my competition workout, stuff like that, and we're talking, communicating, of course, getting to know a little bit more about each other, and that's when I knew. We're sitting over there doing the tricep push downs. This man just tells me, he's a history buff. I'm like, wow, okay. He told me like all the stuff that he studied, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I know him and he knows me. Um, but the outlet is very special thing, especially working out because one of mine is working out. It's not my number one because my number one will always be music. Music is always number one. Um, I listen to a lot of music throughout the day while I'm at work, working out, in the car, in my room, editing stuff. It doesn't matter. You're always gonna see me listening to music. Um, but that's one of my outlets. The other one is working out, of course, and And like he was saying, it's kind of like an escape. You know how he said that he's in his room, he's worried about what he's doing, he's not caring about what people down the street are doing, he doesn't care what they're thinking of him, stuff like that. And a lot of times that's where we have to also look at it, and it's like, okay, I know what I want my future to be, I know what I want to do, so why not just worry about me? Worry about yourself. Do things you want to do. Do things that make you happy. All right, don't be like people out here trying to do what makes them happy. Because if you're doing what makes them happy and it's not making you happy, well then, yeah, it's not gonna work. But going back into a little bit of the outlet, what's your other outlet?
My other out. Well,
Or what would you say your other outlets may be?
maybe. Well, music. That's a good one. Now that I didn't really think about that until you brought it up. But yeah, music. I listen to music throughout the day to get my mind off of things. When I'm at school, I listen to some playlist that me and Michael made,
Yeah.
and gets my mind on the Lord, gets my mind on me, and that's what brings me to the most important outlet that I'm just here recently getting into, which I should have been doing it a long time, but we all fail. But the most important outlet that we all need to have is our first love in life. This is the thing that needs to be number one. Number one in everything. In our work, in our schedule, in our school if you go to school, in our research when you're researching, in our history, our workouts, everything that needs to come after this one thing, and that's God. I've just started recently kind of fully going in there. And I'm saying that because I've been a Christian for all my life. I was raised in church. You know, but we fell away. And I'm going to tell you, those are the hardest years of my life. That's when my mentality actually broke. Was during those years, is because I felt like I had no hope. I was lost with no purpose. Well, that's when I started reading the Bible again and wanting to get back into church. Then I realized that I actually do have a purpose. I mean, my purpose is to serve the Lord. What He tells me to do, I need to do. And that's the outlet we need to do. We need to pray. We need to fast. We need to read the Bible. We need to research the Bible. I mean, don't read just the lines, read above and under the lines. Research it on your own accord, like on Google or something, Here recently, Michael was talking about his preaching he did. It doesn't say in the Bible how much a cross weighs, so he had to look it up. We should put most of our effort into researching and learning his word. Um, I'm still struggling with that. I'm still trying to find times and throughout the day to put it back. And I know I can, but my mentality's stopping me. My flesh is stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I need to change. But I know that that's the most important outlet that everybody, human beings, that's what we all need, is to follow the Lord. If you follow the Lord through making music, make Christian music. If you love listening to history and learning history, learn the history of the Bible. If you love learning languages, learn Hebrew or Greek and start learning the original translation of the Bible. I mean, in every single point, you can influence yourself to learn the Bible in that way. You can influence others too. We should be a light for the rest of the world. And that's the thing about it. That's the outlet that we all need.
Yeah. I mean, hey, speaking facts. I'm just saying. I'm just saying he is. And talking about the Lord being one of the outlets, that is also mine. And when he was talking about like the whole Christian music thing, I'm not big on the original Christian, or I would say what other people call Christian music. What got me hooked on was Christian hip hop, Christian rap, You know, and you hear that, you're like, what? Christian rap? Come on. That ain't a thing. Look, I was depressed one night, and I was sitting there in my bed, and I was like, Lord, I wanna worship you the correct way, but I can't feel anything by listening to the Gaithers. Right? Back then, I couldn't get anything from listening to the old hymns or K Love or stuff like that. I couldn't get into it, right? So
Yeah.
I asked the Lord. I was like, there has to be something out there, and He put it on my heart. He was like, just look it up. So I looked it up. I went to YouTube, Christian rap / hip hop. The first song to pop up, and the song got me hooked. It was Lecrae and Male Music, Tell the World. Now look, alright, that song blew me away, and I got hooked right then and there. Like I'm so hooked onto it that on Spotify I have a playlist called Feel Good, and I have 17 hours of Christian hip hop on that playlist, and I'm constantly adding new songs to it daily, constantly. It's because I feel something in it every time I listen, and I know it's the Spirit. I know that I'm feeling it because I relate to it because my past and who I am. But also with that, with me listening to this and allowing it to work, guess what? Best of both worlds. Now there's a few old Christian songs that I like. There's a lot of K Love. I just started getting back into Christian rock, stuff like that. I'm just saying, but it's a big outlet for me as well because my past. If you go back on this channel, you'll see that I've given my testimony. I've talked more on mental health with just myself and then a few other people. I've done it, but it's been the saving grace, from my end. It's what saved me because I'm telling you, like I remember it to this day. It's gonna get a little dark, but it is what it is. I feel led to speak about it, but I made a post on Facebook not too long ago, and I said, and I got a lot of feedback. Some was good, some was not. And what I posted was, suicide should never be an option. And in today's society, a lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people agree that suicide should be an option, depending on your situation in life. But I posted that because looking back on the night that I almost took my life and realizing that I have so much more to offer, life 360. Not 360, my bad. A complete 180. Life took a huge turn because I remember it clearly. I wasn't going to shoot myself, wasn't going to hang myself, cut myself, anything like that. I was right down my road. I was looking off into the gully. It was midnight. And I was sitting there. Gullies are deep, especially the ones down here. They're pretty deep. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump. Ended like that. Why not? But I didn't do that. I was sitting there standing, feet on the edge. Like it was like a movie. That's how it felt. And I felt the Holy Spirit hit me. And I felt, I felt the presence. It's weird because it was the summertime. When you're outside, you're not going to feel like a wind chill in the summertime. Like mid-July. You're not going to feel that, all right? Especially down here, Tennessee. Nah, you're not feeling no cold chill during the summertime. No, sir. Not at all. But I felt that cold chill. I started bawling. And then I just heard, I guess it was the Lord or the Holy Spirit, but I heard him say, you have so much more to live for. That was 5 years ago. No, 6 years ago. That was 6 years ago. 6 years now, I'm kind of happy that I stayed because I got to experience life. I got to watch people grow. I got to watch my niece grow, my nephew grow. I got to watch all these things. Yes, life's going to get bumpy. You're going to take some hard bumps on the way. It's going to happen. But you got to keep fighting. You got to keep moving. And you got to keep trusting in the Lord that whatever hell you're going through, He's going to pull you through. And I'm just saying, there's not a 99% chance, there's not an 80% chance, there's a 100% chance that whatever you're going through, you're going to break through. And it's not because of your doing, it's because of what He's done. Now, I ain't here to preach, so yeah.
Well, it makes sense though.
Yeah.
It says in the Bible that, it's not, we should lean on His understanding, not ours.
Mm-hmm.
We should go to Him. And that goes into mentality as well. This is all about mental health.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, also with all that being said, I know that there's a few people who watch my channel that are not Christians. Now, I've also said, and I'm going to say it again, right? If you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling suicidal, if you are going through something in life right now, please reach out to someone. Whether that be a therapist, whether that be a friend, relative, family member, anybody. Find someone to talk to that you trust. And I promise you, whatever you're going through, it will get better. Because I'm a living example of it. Just because I believe in Jesus, and you don't, look, free will, do what you want to do, okay? But I would rather hear you tell me your story than someone else telling me your story. I'm just saying. So, please, if you are going through something, find help. Alright? Like I always do at these videos, the suicide hotline. All the hotlines will be in the description, of course. But if you need someone to reach out, please reach out to me, reach out to someone. Please, because you are loved, you are cared, and you have a purpose. Never forget that. Alright, I just wanted to put that out there, Noah. So, yeah.
Don't worry about it, man.
So,
But it just makes so much sense. From your story, you were that close. And I've never got that close. But I know by the times of the time I did think about stuff like that, I never went through the action of almost doing them, but I thought about them sometimes. And then I thought about, what if I was here just to be born and die? Why? Why was I born then?
Yeah.
I'm born because I have a purpose. I have something to fulfill. Think about life that way. There's an older quote that I heard, and it was, a river doesn't cut through rock because of its power, but because of its perseverance. Be the river. Don't be a lake, if you want to put that analogy.
Good.
Don't do that analogy. Well, let's do that analogy. My apologies. Don't be a lake. A lake's not going to cut water. A lake's not going to cut rock. My apologies. I'm sorry.
You can go. You can redo it. You good.
A lake's not going to cut a rock. It's going to make it smooth, and that's about the only thing it's going to do. It's not going to really cut a rock. A river, if you've seen the Mississippi, you know that it cuts rock.
Yeah.
Because it might be powerful, but because the water keeps on gushing at the same spot over and over, faster and faster, it's perseverance. It keeps on going. Live life like a river. Be a river. And what's the only way to get, I know this is my standpoint, this is how I feel, is the only way to get the water to become a river is the Lord. That's the only way you can get water, is Him.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel.
Mhm.
I know that before that, I have a really close cousin, um, and we call each other brothers.
Yeah.
And we've always been Christians, even in the times where we both fell away from church and all that. We were still in Christ, but we wasn't where we were supposed to be. Um, but we talked to each other about every part of our pain, our problems. Um, I'm here to say that if he wasn't here, I don't know where I'd be. If I wasn't here, I can say this because he's told me this, is if I wasn't here, I don't know, he doesn't know where he would be
Mhm.
because we fall back on each other.
Yeah.
Um, but we both know who had us. We both know who held his arm out for us. We both know who was there through all the thick and thin. Um, Even when you can't see him, even when you don't feel him, he's there. You know,
Mhm.
the Lord's there. He's always there. And
Amen.
all he wants is for you to reach out your hand and grab his. Because that's what really clears your mind right there. I mean, just let all your burdens go to him and you will never. I'm saying here right now that you might feel pain, you might feel suffering. Of course you are. It's life. I'm not here to say that life's going to be easy. But give yourself a purpose to fight for. Because if you don't fight for something, you'll become stagnant and you'll be that lake.
Mhm. You're right. You're absolutely right. Man, that was good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, though. That was good. That was good. Uh, but nah. So, is there anything else that you would like to add on to this?
Um,
As in, like,
Go to him before it's too late. Um, I know that uh, I struggle with this. I was stubborn, prideful.
yeah,
I
been
didn't
there.
want to change. That was my problem. I didn't want to change. Um, I said I followed him. I still do that, and I know it's sad to say, but I say I follow God. I say I follow Christ, but I keep on going back. But we don't know when we're gonna die. We don't know if next time you breathe in through your nostrils, you won't ever be able to breathe again. Um, People have came back from worse. Some people has died from less. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. We don't know when we're going. Um, so I would say that look into it. You
Mhm.
know, kind of if you don't believe it or anything, kind of just look into it. I'm, I mean, I don't know if I'm just being led to say this or not, but just look into it. Kind of research around it. But do it on your own research.
Mhm.
That's the best thing to do. Don't rely on other people.
Yeah.
Um,
It's best to do it on your like look it up yourself, do that research yourself. Don't go to a YouTube video where a guy's like, how to disprove Christianity. No, it's based off of your own thoughts. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'll rock with that, or you don't. It's at the end of the day, it's your choice, right? Don't let someone deceive you on something that could become a blessing in your life. So, because all I can say from that is been a huge blessing in my life. You know, just going into the whole testimony thing. You want to see that video? It'll be in the description. Uh, but but yeah, nah, it's just you just gotta take one day at a time. But always remember that you're never alone. As me and Noah and multiple other people have stories of that, well, we're never alone. So please don't forget that. Like that's something I really want, for y'all to understand is you are never alone. But yeah. So, anything else you'd like to add, Noah?
Nah, I think that sums it up.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It has been an honor to have Noah here. It really is. He's a bright young kid. With me getting to know him and a little bit about his story, his life, stuff like that. But as I said, in the beginning, or not at the beginning, but the middle, if you are going through something, please reach out to someone. Please find help in any way you seem fit possible. Our ways, may not work with you. You may not believe in Jesus. You may not believe in God. And look, that's cool. That's fine and dandy. That's all on you. But if you are depressed and if you are going through something and you haven't, gave that an option, please do, because I promise you, if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. And just find that help, whether that's therapist, like I said, therapist, best friend, family member, cousin, relative, it don't matter. Some random guy on the street, and hey, it doesn't matter. But find that help, because like I always tell people, I have little notes that I give out whenever I feel led to give someone a note. It's like it says you are loved, you are cared about, you have a purpose. Never forget that. And that's something I stick by daily, and I just want people to always know that you are never alone. You always have someone there. And just keep fighting the fight, cuz it will get easier. It just takes time. But if that's it, Noah, if you want to say any final words.
Well, it was a pleasure for letting you, or letting me be on here.
Yeah.
It really felt good to talk about this because I feel like it's going to help someone.
Oh yeah. But also, I know that y'all see the logos on the top swirling. That is our sponsors from AR-73. All those codes are going to be in the description down below. Go check them out. Pretty good stuff. I'm not going to lie. But like I said, thank you guys again for coming to the channel, watching this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, get it out there. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Noah, for doing this, man. It means a lot. And see y'all later.